Hi everyone, so it's Ravenpaw161 here, and today I'm going to do a collection video of my Gryphon Insurrection books. So you would have just seen me unboxing Pinnacus, the signed copy. So one of my viewers said they would love a collection video, so this is a collection video. So I'm going to do it in order of the books, not in the order that I got them, but I think most of them except for the novella I got in order. So this is the novella. It's got a collection of short stories, but it comes before, or the storyline from these comes before the main series. So at the moment there is 8 main series books out. The 8th book just came out the beginning of last month, so the 1st of August. And book 9 will come out, I think maybe next year. We're not sure yet. So this one's a collection of short stories, which, as I said, come before the main series. So you can read this first before the main series, but you don't have to, because I got this after I started reading the main series. I think I got it a couple of books in, but it's definitely good to read it. It is definitely an advantage to read it before, because it has the backstory of one of our main characters called Satra, who you'll meet in the first book. I'm not going to say too much on the storyline just because I don't want to spoil it for those who may want to read the series, or are starting to read the series. Pardon me. So I won't say much about the storylines, but that originally was only like on the website, I think, and then it was made into a novella. So that's the prequel of short stories. That's that one. Eerie. So Eerie is the first one I read. I've read them in order pretty much. So this one is one of the only ones that I got from a bookstore. So this was from QBD, and this was the only one that I could get at the time. So I think I accidentally found this series, surprisingly, when I was trying to find a different series to read in between Warriors, because I didn't have anything to read in between Warriors. So I wanted to find a different series, and I found this one. I can't remember. I think I was just looking and I found this one accidentally. And at this time, I think there was only the first 2 or 3 books out. So it was a couple of years ago now. So Eerie is book 1. And as you know, from Pinnacus, these have really nice interior art in them. So this one only has the 2 at the front, or the beginning, sorry. So we have Hatzel and Brevin, which you would have seen me, seen in the postcards I got with the Pinnacus. So Hatzel is on the cover of book 9, so you definitely have to check that one out. Book 9's not out yet, but she is on the cover of book 9. And Brevin is one of our main villains in book 1. So she's a peafowl or peacock, a Pinnacus. There. Apologise if you can hear the kid next door. He's having some fun by the sound of it. So Ashenweald is book 2. You'll hear me say it probably a lot of times throughout the video, I love the artwork, love the interior artwork, and I love the cover artwork as well. So you can see Ashenweald is a lot thicker than Eerie, and these are in pretty good nick. So I keep these up on my bookshelf with my other collections, with my named series collection. I've also got Sky Talons up there, and I've got Jess E. Owen's series as well. And some of those are also signed, so they have a special little place in my bookshelf, which maybe I should show you, but not at the moment because it's messy. But yeah, so I keep these up in a special place in my bookshelf, because a lot of these are very special to me, these ones, especially the signed ones. So this has one of my favourite artworks in it. It has one of my favourite characters, which is Younce. So Younce is a snow leopard griffin, or a taiga griffin as they call it, because they live up in the mountains. And our Goliath bird is obviously based or is a terror bird. So I think they're based on a Dimatra, or I can't remember the name of the terror bird, but yes, I'm a nerd. You probably know that by now, that I like the prehistoric creatures. It also has a Basilosaurus in it. I love Basilosaurus. That is one of my favourite marine dinosaurs, along with Mosasaurus. Love Mosasaurus. So there's Faulkner. So she's one of sort of a secondary main character sort of griffin. Sorry, Pinnacus. So she's in the Pinnacus. And she's a songbird. Her half is a songbird. So with this series, griffins usually obviously are lion and eagle halves. But I love the way that Kevin, who is the author, I love the way he makes different types of griffin and Epicus, so they can have different bird halves and different all types of wildcat halves. So that's Faulkner. It's also Ari, which I named one of my plush cheetah after, who is a cheetah griffin. So her half is a cheetah. And Urius. So I'm just trying to find all the interior art for you guys. And I know it's in here somewhere, and I've gone past it. Yes, I have. Ah, there we go. So that's Urius. And Urius is what they call a wing-torn griffin. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to say anything more on why they're called that, because that would be a major spoiler for some of the storyline for book 1 and the whole series. But you can see I don't know if you can see his scars there on his back. But you'll learn about them in book 1 if you haven't already. And I'm sorry to be vague, but I don't want to spoil it for people who may want to read the series or who are just starting out. So that's the interior artwork. Again, I really love the cover artwork. So the author has a artist who does all the interior art, especially for this series. So I definitely recommend checking out the author's Patreon, because you get to see all the interior art and everything from even before it's put into the books, and you get to see fan art and everything as well. And you also get to get an ebook of the books before they are released into Amazon and before the physical books are released. So you actually get to sort of read it before anyone else, before the public. So that is book 2. Book 3, Starling. So there's the starling birds down there. Oh, starling griffins down there. They're not really villains, but they are sort of antagonists, I suppose, of the series. But they're not really villains in the sense of like a normal villain. Sorry about my foot there. So again, I'm going to show you the interior art. This one has one of my favourite interior arts in here as well. I do recommend, obviously, even if you do like physical copies, definitely getting a copy of the ebooks as well, just because, especially with the double page artworks, it is a lot clearer on the ebooks. I've got the ebooks of a lot of these ones. I got them through Patreon. So I mainly read physical copies because with all the problems with my eyesight, I can't concentrate on screens for too long. So that's why I get the physical copies as well. But I do read the ebooks, especially when you get them before the public. So just show you the interior art. I can never remember where they are in the books, but should be. Oh, sorry, yeah. So that's Ranger Lord Elor. She's Jaguar, half. Jaguar and Crane, Pinnicus. I just love, I'm going to use some of these drawings or some of these artworks as references because I want to draw some fan art as well. Though I've never tried to, I have tried to draw a Gryphon, I'm never very good at it, but hopefully they'll come out alright. And in the back, also in the back of this one, which I'd forgotten about until I was sort of practicing for this video, it's got a character list. I had forgotten that. So this might be good for, it's definitely good for if you want to learn more about the characters. So there's all the prides. Don't know if you can read that because it's obviously going to be around the other way for the video. But yeah, it has one of the main characters up till this book. So, is it this one? No, it might be the next one. Oh, it's the next one, sorry. It's the next book that has one of my favourite interior artworks in it. Because it's a full double page artwork. Oh, something's happened. I don't know if you can hear the little boy next door. So that's another piece of artwork that relates to the story. So this is actually a scene out of the book. This one is called a seraph. And again, I'm not going to say too much about that, but this one is preserved in the bog. And there, I think, is a starling Pinnicus, a starling pride Gryphon up the top there. So that one's book 3. Oh, sorry. So this is book 4, Reevesbane, and this is our main antagonist of this book. His name is Rybolt, and I'll tell you more about him in a minute. So he is first introduced in this book, and he is an assassin, and it makes a whole lot more sense, which I'll explain in a minute. So again, we've got the interior arts. The interior art is a lot bigger and spans a lot more of the pages in the hardback, which you'll see in a minute. And you can see all the maps and everything on the website, on the author's website, which also has all of the books and how to contact him, which is how I originally got into the signed copies. So there's Reeve. His name's Reeve Rybolt. So his bird half is what they call a Pitahui bird. I'm not sure how to say that. But these birds, I'd never actually heard of them until I read this series, or this book. So they actually eat beetles. And these beetles produce sort of a toxin or a poison. And because they eat these beetles, it actually comes out in their feathers. So any predator that eats this bird gets poisoned. So the same happens with his pride. So he's a Pitahui pride, and he has poison on his feathers. So it makes sense that he's going to be an assassin. I think that's really cool. And I'm learning a lot about, obviously, American birds because I live in Australia, especially things like magpies. Magpies here are very different to magpies in America. And if you know about magpies in Australia, I know they get a bad rap because they swoop people, but they are not bad birds. Like, they are not aggressive. Well, they're aggressive around breeding season. Any bird's going to be. But if you're visiting Australia, I definitely recommend seeing these guys, especially if you love birds, because they're very, very smart birds. But anyway, that's not... I could talk about magpies because they are one of my favourite birds. This is Kia. So she is a parrot, a Pinnicus. Again, I just love the detail in these artworks. I wish I could draw like that, but I'm going to have a go at using these guys for reference and drawing them. Kia, again, is one of my favourite characters. And obviously you know that they have ground parrots in here as well, which are based off the Kia birds in New Zealand. Very, very cheeky birds. If you've ever watched documentaries on Kias, they're very, very cheeky, being parrots, and they are very, very smart. So I think I also love the chapter headers. Chapter header artworks there. Little griffins, I love them as well. So they're what they call glyphs in the book. I think that's what they're based on. And I'll show you, this is my favourite. Probably my favourite artwork. Again, in the ebook, this is a lot clearer to see because obviously we have to have the page over 2 pages. It is a lot better in the ebook, but sorry, it's getting really uncomfortable because I'm sitting cross-legged at the moment for quite a while. So this is one of our main villains. He's also known as a Night Haunt. Again, I'm not going to say too much about the storyline because it will be spoilers, but you can see that he doesn't look like a normal Gryphon or a Pinnicus, and there is a reason for that, which you will learn about throughout the series, and you will learn who this guy is as well. But yeah, that is one of my favourite artworks. I love that one, and that is something that I would definitely try to draw as well. Yeah, so he's a bad guy. He's a really bad guy. He's one of our main antagonists of the series. So that's that one. And that is book 4. So these 3 are the ones that I have signed. So Ruins of Crestfall is the first book that I got signed, and I love it. Obviously all of these books are very special to me, but these particularly are. Sorry about my birds. Speaking of birds, we got a lot of parrots and they are noisy, especially Australian parrots. So they're my mum's birds. Apologise if you can hear them throughout the video. They're just on the other side of this wall, which can be very annoying at 6 o'clock in the morning when they start doing exactly that. So this is my first one that I got signed, and I love the little artworks as well. So Kevin does do a lot of signing. If you do want to get into that, if you start the series and you absolutely love it and you want to get signed copies, you can reach out to him. I think his email is on his website, so you can contact him through there, which is how I originally did. Something that I was nervous about, something that I'd never done. And so, but I'm so glad I did. So this one has little notes throughout the book that he snuck in there, which I really love. And you saw all the extras that I got with a Pinnicus. So I just love it. And you'll see the interior art. And you know that one. I actually got that wrong in the video. It's Ninox. It is not Blinky, which I knew when I said it, but I couldn't remember who it was. This is Cherine. I think that's, again, I'm not sure how you say some of the characters. That's Cherine and Ninox. And Ninox looks evil. She's not, but she is kind of a badass. I do like her. She's one of my favourites. And these are their little griffins. Or their little grifflets, sorry. So yeah, again, that's one of the ones that I got in the postcards that I got. So if I can find all of the little notes in there, I'll show you. So I'm just trying to find the little notes that are in the book. I'll just have a look as I'm looking for the interior art, which I just found again and now I can't find. Where? Sorry. This is Hai Khan. He's also one of our main characters in this book. He sort of serves the main antagonist in later books, but I wouldn't call him a villain per se. But he is, I think it's called an Argent Hawk. That's his bird half. And he's in his armour. He wears his armour a lot. Again, that is one of my favourite character artworks. I really love that. I've forgotten he was in here, actually. And I think there was one more in here. if it's this one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it is this one. Ah, there we go. So that's him. This is Pink Reeve, and he is a flamingo, Epicus. So I really love the fact that instead of just a lion and a lion and an eagle, there are different species of big cat and different species of bird. I really love that. That is really cool to have different Epicus and Gryphon species. That's him. And he is villain, sort of. Sorry, low battery. Sorry about that. That was my thing telling me it's low battery, so I better hurry up. But yeah, that's that one. And I'll just quickly show you. I have to be quick because obviously my battery's running out. So there's my little notes in there as well, which I really love. So definitely recommend getting signed copies from the author. If you don't know a lot about the author, he has a lot of medical issues, and the main reason I buy directly from him is because all the proceeds that come from buying these books from him go to help him with the medical things that he needs, basically, to save his life. So, and the Patreon as well. So I definitely recommend buying directly from him, or getting his Patreon, getting on his Patreon and helping him with his medical bills, because that's one of the main reasons I do it. Also because I love signed copies, but also to help support him, and it's a great thing that I love doing, buying these books directly from the author. So is that one. Got to hurry up with these last two. The books 8 you've already seen. Sorry, book 7 you've already seen. So Crackling Sea was my second signed copy that I got. And it's really, really thick. It's one of the thicker ones. Book 8, which just came out, is really, really thick. So it's a lot thicker than this one. I haven't ordered that one yet from him, but I do hope to do it soon because I'm reading through this one quite quickly, or reading through Epicus quite quickly. I am rereading the entire series, though. So I'm still on Eerie, so I'm kind of reading Eerie and book 7 at the same time. But anyway, this is Crackling Sea. I just finished that a couple of months ago, but I am also I started rereading this one, but I think I might have to reread. I just might have to just wait until I reread the entire series. So there's the signed cop part there, and again, I love. That's Gryphon. I couldn't remember his name. That's Gryphon. So Gryphon's on the front as well, and you will learn more about him in the series. Again, I'll just show you the quick interior art, which I love. So if I can find them. So there's the artwork there, the map, sorry. You can see that the map is a lot bigger in the hardcover versions. But you can also find that on the website. So, sorry, I was really cool. Sorry. I've got to find these artworks so I can never remember. So that is our Peafell Epicus. That is not bourbon, that's different Epicus. And this is Black Mask. So here's a wing-torn griffin, which I mentioned before. And they have this armour to protect the scars on their back. And these guys, I actually asked the other day because I couldn't remember the cat halves of these guys. So Black Mask, Thenka, and Urius, which you saw before, they are actually Maine Coon or raccoon cats, I think Kevin said. So that is their bird halves. And with Black Mask and Urius, the cat halves are a Maine Coon, and their bird halves are strikes, I think. So again, I didn't know about the strike until I read this series, and they're the ones that impale their prey on like branches and things like that. So that was really interesting to learn about. So they're sort of looked on as enemies because they have the shrike in them, and the shrike is kind of looked upon as a bird that well, I suppose, as a violent bird, but they're not really. But it was really good to learn about all these different birds, because I live in Australia. I don't know a lot of the American birds, especially things like the American magpie, which I said before is very different to ours. Same sort of colouring, but very different. So I thought I probably missed some of the artworks in here, but I'm trying to show you the interior artworks. Again, I love the little chapter headers. So you've got different ones in this one. Sorry, my legs are getting really sore. I knew there was another one in here. So again, I love the full page ones. They're really, and I just love the detail in them. I am really terrible at drawing wings. If anyone's watching this and has any tips on how to draw them, that would be great. Also paws. I suck at drawing paws. That's why I'm so jealous of this guy who can draw it so well. So as you can see, he's a lynx owl griffin. And I've forgotten most of these because I haven't read them for a while. But yeah, you can see he's a lynx griffin. I can never remember who a lot of the characters are. In the ebooks though, it does have the characters, because you can obviously have the chapters in the front as well. So the advantage to reading the ebooks as well as the physical copies is that they have who all these characters are, and you can obviously click on it and it goes directly to this, so it will tell you who those characters are. But yeah, I would love to draw like that, just all the shading and detail and things like that. But I am going to have a go at drawing them. So that's book 6. That's that one. And Pinnicus I'm just going to do really quickly, first of all, because my tablet's running out of battery, and second of all, because you would have seen this the other day. So this is one of the most recent books that came out. I think it still came out last year, something like that. It was a while before we could get it sent to Australia, but it's definitely worth the wait, because I loved all the extras in there. Absolutely love them. Thank you so much, Kevin, if you watch these videos. I absolutely loved my little extras in this one. You would have seen all these the other day, so I'll just do a really quick part on this one, because I've been harping on for like nearly half an hour now. But yeah, all the interior artwork. I love the interior artwork. I love getting it signed, and I do recommend reading this series if you like Griffins. If you read Jesse Owens' series, I definitely recommend this series as well. Or even if you're looking for a series to read that's got griffins in it, and that's got prehistoric animals in it as well, I definitely recommend this series. It is a fantastic series. Definitely recommend helping support the author on his Patreon or by buying books directly from him, because it does go towards helping him with all his medical bills. Anyway, that is my very long collection video. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in my next video. Well, you won't see me, but anyway.